Do you know how much of our back we've broken to build this party to where it is? Come, when we're campaigning, why didn't you come and do the door-to-door? Why didn't you come and we run the keep fit? Why didn't you come for us to do the posters? Why? You're just sitting on Facebook and screaming and leveling unnecessary allegations against people is what wins election. If you claim you are a man, courageous enough, come to Ghana and make this allegation and let's see whether we will not meet in court.
According to Kevin Taylor and someone air Koswana wadi to join United man. Honorable Muntaka. I nim so no ene MP for ya sanwase. Our ye majority PB and as work MPP for one. Oko Parliament and nya sam keto papa kasa pa obu adwuma manfo so obu adwuma he. E wo munsa na aban na wo so de na so okọ papa ne officer. Contractor waji egu na so nya contract ketwa. Sabe amanfo ho no betimi aye adwuma ne pound but waje. Eno ye number 1. Number 2, Haruna Idrisu a ono so ye NDC MP. Ono so ka ho bi allegations bi Kevin Taylor ekaka ho se sankofo mienu we busuafo. Omo ena omaye bibi na me no ka sei papa ne din edi Muntaka edi video ababonte a we no wano nkasa kasa cheche semsa o say a bigot a bigot say ebusuafo ye show video we ya ye papa ye Muntaka ekasa na ye ntoa so.
No, someone. I was with Larry Sharad in Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Muntaka is in the United States. The president.
Let me start by saying that it's just too unfortunate that I'm forced to come on live Facebook to respond to a bigot, somebody who hates our country but pretend to love it, whose talk is just to malign innocent persons with lies, and he tells the lies with so much confidence that people, some gullible people, tend to believe him. Everything that I'm going to say, I swear by the God that created me, that I'm saying what I know is the truth, not because I want to entertain someone like Kevin Taylor, but because of the innocent 1,001 gullible people across the globe who are finding it very difficult to read between the thin line to know who is speaking the truth and who is lying. Let me start by saying that I am not a fan of him. I don't listen to him. I hardly get time to listen to him. But unfortunately, his last few episodes seem to consistently mention me, and people draw my attention. And a lot of people, well-meaning Ghanaians, don't respond to him. I'm sorry that I cannot continue to hold on when he continues these lies. I have had the great privilege of serving my people from Aswansi in Parliament for over a decade and a half. I'm not anywhere near saying that I'm intelligent more than any other person in Aswansi or wiser than any other person in Parliament, but I know all those who have worked with me will attest to the fact that I'm so passionate about what I do. I've consistently defended my constituency, and the records are there for everybody to see. I have consistently defended my party since I was in Parliament. I have consistently defended every flag bearer that we've had with all the energy in me. Kavintela, let me tell you, I challenge you to bring everything that you claim to have. I am very ready for you. Let me start by saying that I don't work to you. I don't work to you. I work to my constituents. But you see, the kind of allegations that you are leveling is so shocking that you claim to be a journalist and you know the tenets of good journalism. The tenet of good journalism is that when you get facts, you give people that facts are around them, the so-called facts, to authenticate or otherwise. You cross-check, you provide evidence of what you are saying. You don't just go talking on top of your head because probably some people might have given you some wrong information and then you use it to run. Let me tell you, I bought my ticket to the US. I swear to God that I serve, Allah, I have never met anybody, whether in government or their surrogates or discuss. Look, I don't need I don't owe you to tell you why I'm in the US. I don't owe you. I'm a citizen of Ghana, and Parliament is on recess. I have every right to travel privately to wherever I want to go. I don't owe you the obligations. But if it is about US, let me tell you, first, you lied that I was in bronze in a mosque. I challenge you. If I'm in the US, the mosques that I attend are Mount Hope, Yenkasa, or An-Nasser. I challenge you to provide that evidence. And those of you in bronze, this is to tell you the lies that he's peddling. Have you seen me in any of your mosques? No. In fact, since I came to the US, I've not gone anywhere even near Manhattan. I have not met anybody, not even an NPP person inside this US. The only time I would say I met somebody that is close to NPP was on the flight when I was coming and I met one of our guys in my constituents, Ali Surai, who came for us. Oh, he wanted us to have a picture. I'm his MP. Even though I know all his utterances against me as the member of Parliament for Aswan, but I oblige him. In fact, I returned from New Mexico only this morning. All this while I was in, they call it the Abukaki. A younger brother doctor who is there, Dr. Uza. I'm sure if he's listening, his family will attest the fact that yes, I was with them. Kevin Taylor, let me tell you, whoever told you that me, I've met KK Sapo and Napo, I can't remember the last time we spoke. Since Parliament went on recess, I can't even remember. Yes, we are brothers. We grew up together, attended the same school. His father was like a father to me. But I challenge you, please, you claim that he has given me a contract. I challenge you to provide any contract that me, Muntaka, have received from Napo. If you care to know, all the classroom blocks that MPs fight for during Get Farm formula, try to push to their constituency, not even one has been built throughout the tenure of Napo as MP. Because when I get it and I take it to the district frustrates it, and I can mention them to you. I brought a contract for Nurul Amin. It was never done. The people of Aswanse JLI, they know. And I stated all this when I was campaigning. You can go to my Facebook and go to my record on Zuria when I was stating the things that I brought, the things that I lobbied for, and how they got frustrated and all that, and check whether any of the contractors who were supposed to do those things have any relations to me, or go to Auditor General, Register General, and see whether any of those companies are related to me. Those classroom books are brought, Dura Amin, it's not been done. I brought Nuria, it was not done. Abubakar Siddiq, it was not constructed. I complained to NAPO severally. He was saying that, look, this is the local district, because we give the classroom blocks through the districts. And I'm witnessed instances where he tries to make course. Why are they frustrating the construction of those things? None was done. So I challenge you to provide contracts that me got from NAPO and did, so you can show where they were and how I benefited from NAPO being decent. So you see, that's palpable lie, absolute lies from you. You see, you are not decent. Decent people, when they hear things, they try to cross-check. Because you are not decent and you are so raw, you are so naive about the things that we do, you even bother yourself. If I were you, when people were telling you that, oh, they are cutting contract, they are short-chaining all of us, they are sitting in power, they are not doing anything. If I were you, what I would do is that I would go and look for the Hansard of Parliament on all the things that happen and see the debate and see what everybody said. If you care to know, call any of the MPs, call anybody, whether in the 7th Parliament and even this 8th Parliament. In fact, the NPP have labeled me, Muntaka, as obstructionist. As if me, all I do in the chamber is to obstruct what they are doing. But let me school you about what we do in Parliament. You see Parliament there, you see there, and like any other parliament in the world, leaders are only coordinators. They only coordinate. We are just like class prefects. We are not even headmasters. Nowhere near. We are just like class prefects. Every business of government, whether it is private or government, it first comes to the floor of the house. And I'm schooling you. Go and take our Hansard and go and take our standing orders and learn, so that you can stop this naivety and showing how stupid you are. When it comes to the floor of the house, it is referred to a committee of Parliament. No business just comes to the floor and gets down on the floor. When it comes to the floor, it's referred to the committee. None of our committees today in Parliament has members less than 9. Because the least committee we have is 18. And because of the narrow nature of our presence, 18, we have 9, they have 9. When the committee is 20, they have 10, we have 10. It's only when the committee is 25, because they are 130. I've heard you say, oh, they are 137, we are 137. Are you that naive? Didn't you hear that the independent chose to work with them? And he has consistently been voting with them. And in voting with them, it makes them 138. You don't know that? And you don't know that in Parliament, 99% of the business that goes into Parliament, the decision is taken. Go and read our Constitution. From Article 102 all the way to 109. You see how Parliament decisions are taken. Simple majority. If you are 151 votes yes, 49 vote no, the 51 takes the day. So any day that we have to do anything and we take and 10 position and they take and 10 position, they are 138 and we are 137. So let me go take you back. So when the business comes and it goes to the committee, each of the committee, we have leaders that we have chosen. So you come to Finance Committee, our lead person there is Atufosin, assisted by Adongo, Honorable Isaac Adongo. You go to Roads and Transport, our lead person there is Kwame Agboja. You go to Mines and Energy, our lead person there is Jinapo. You go to Foreign Affairs, our lead person there is Honorable Akuteto Ablakwa. You go to Education, our lead person there is Honorable Peter Nochu. You go to Lands and Natural Resources, our lead person there is Honorable Rashid Popo. In that order. Subsidiary Legislation, our lead person there is Dominic Ayini. Our lead person for Public Accounts is Honorable Klucha Aveji. That is how Parliament is structured. So every business that comes goes to those committees. So when you say we are cutting deals and we are compromising, do you know what you are indirectly saying? You are saying that every committee of this Parliament, of we having in the list 9. So for example, if you say Committee on Mines and Energy, you are saying that Jinapor, together with his other colleagues who are on that committee, all of them get compromised, led by us. That's what you are saying. If you say that there's something on Foreign Affairs, and then we are compromised, you are saying that Honorable Ablakwa and all his colleagues who are there are being compromised together with us. Does it make sense to you as a rational human being? If you care to know how Parliament works, does it make sense to you that we are just sitting there cutting deals? So let me tell you, if you care to know how we work, when any business goes to the committee, they go and deliberate, and when there are issues, the first thing, the rankings will run to the leaders. We've gone, there's A, B, C, D, but this is our position that we think we have to take as a caucus. And I challenge you to ask any of the ranking or any of our chairperson whether any of them has ever brought something, no matter how small it is, that me, Muntaka, did not assist him to fine-tune it and prepare for our attack. Whether the person wants to do a press conference, whether the person wants to do a press release, even during this recess, if you care to know. Find out from Kamak Baja what he wanted to talk about the motorway with the, what do you call it, Motor Angels contract that's been awarded without, what do you call it, going through the procurement process. Ask him. You draft the statement, you bring it, I'll forward it to the leader, we'll look at it. Sometimes we forward it to the party leadership, they look at it, we'll all agree, oh, this test is good, let it go. When we work in unison. And I heard you talk about, oh, is a black guy that is screaming. That is foreign affairs issue. And ask him, when he was filing the question, we had to assist him to get the question on the floor for him to ask. When they ran away and but in Parliament, that's what I'm saying, they read our standing orders and understand how Parliament runs. It doesn't run like the way you are running. You just sit because there's a mic before you, you just speak anyhow. You think that's how a country is run? You think that's how Parliament runs? It runs like the way you run your home. It doesn't run that way. Ask him the effort that we made. And I also want you to ask him, when we came on recess, whether when he had this issue, whether he has spoken to any of us. At least I can say he hasn't spoken to me. When Peter Nochu wanted to speak about education, he called me. We looked at the test. He issued it as press release. When Akando wanted to even go around the current rounds that they are going, ask him. We met him over. We discussed it. We agreed. I had to raise the funds from our caucus resources to support the health committee to go around. When he had to do the press releases and the press conferences, ask him. Sometimes he's in this, constituency. I say, look, because you're in the constituency, just get the test. Let's look at it. Let's take it around. When it is done, we'll issue it as a press release. We coordinate. So when you sit and ignorantly try to mislead our gullible support, are you NDC? Since when did you become NDC? Since when? When we were dying to get power in 2008, where were you? Are you NDC? Because you get so gullible people, they don't even know the processes that things go through. You just sit because there's a mic in front of you. You just scream and tell all these lies on innocent persons. Look, I'm a typical Zongo boy. I challenge you. Every audio that you have, you claim me, Muntaka. Please bring it out. Any evidence that you have that me, look, it is to a point that even my colleagues are saying that, look, I'm arrogant because I always tell them, look, I don't like unnecessary meetings, if it's not a sanctioned meeting by the House, I don't want to be part of it. And I challenge you to bring whatever evidence that you claim to have. People meet me from every space of life. I'll insist. Ask a lot of people who try to meet me. Say, no, come to my office in Parliament, and I'll give you where my office is, because that is where my office is, and that's where I'm supposed to operate. I live in Accra. Ask how many people get the opportunity to meet me in my house. I don't, because I don't want people to be meeting me in a kind of private arrangement that could create suspicion. I always insist, come and meet me in my office. So if you care to know, I've never met Napo in the US. I've never met KK Sapon in the US. I've never met anybody in the MPP. Not even in the NDC. Since I came here. Because the purpose for which I came is what I'm pursuing. And I'm not obliged to tell you why I'm here. All I'll tell you is that if you think you are courageous, just come to Ghana and say the things that you are saying so that we can sue you. So you can defend yourself in a law court. You don't sit in the US and accuse people in Ghana and say that, oh, you can go to court. No, come to Ghana. So that you accuse me within our land and I will sue you within our land. But you don't take the opportunity because you have this privilege to sit in front of a mic, to just speak anyhow. Let me tell you, I, very hardworking, very decent. You can say whatever you want. I don't begrudge you. All those who know me will tell you I'm very hardworking. And I say, with a greater respect, I didn't finish school and come into politics. I worked in the private sector. I rose to the rank. I was commanding a lot of respect where I was before. I was begged to come and join because I was very supportive of NDC. On election days, I spend my own resources to support other candidates. You can find out from Musa Ahmed in 1996. You can find out from all the others. Musa Ahmed in 2000. You can find out from the family of Dr. Jibril. And the people saw that I deserve to lead them. And I challenge you. If you knew my constituency in 2005 and how my constituency is today, you won't sit and be speaking this rubbish that you are talking about. He's selfish. He's always thinking about himself. Do you know who is thinking about himself? It is you. Because some bigots are using you. Why? The leadership of Parliament, how many are we? We are 5. Haruna Ejusu, the leader, Kulechi Aveji as the deputy leader, me as the chief whip, Ahmed Ibrahim as the deputy, and Comfort Doyo as the second deputy. Why are you always mentioning the two of us? What is your interest? You see how God caught you when you were saying that, oh, they are doing a Muslim agenda. Oh my goodness, shame unto you. You should be bowing your head in shame, the things that you are doing. Because you see, you are a bigot, and you are allowing bigots to use you to think that you can destroy us. You didn't make me. And I challenge you. Bring out anything that you claim that you have. I work so hard, tirelessly. Found out from my colleagues in Parliament. I threw myself in the chamber. I have learned a lot. But you can't get me to be doing the wrong thing. We have a country to run. We have a party to run. We have our various constituencies to run. We have our families to run. You don't come and tell it. Do you know how we win elections? Do you know what we go through to win elections? Do you know how we campaign? You think that sitting on radio and just accusing people is what is campaigning? In fact, you are a disincentive to NDC because a lot of neutral persons hear you and they think that you are one of us and they hate us. No, you are not. Since when did you join NDC? Do you know the sweat that we've gone through? Do you know how much of our back we've broken to build this party to where it is? You don't know anything. Come, when we're campaigning, why didn't you come and do the door-to-door? Why didn't you come and we run the keep fit? Why didn't you come for us to do the posters? Why? You're just sitting on Facebook and screaming and leveling unnecessary allegations against people is what wins election. Please, be one. If you claim you are a man, courageous enough, come to Ghana and make this allegation, and let's see whether we will not meet in court. But you see, when you sit and take the privilege of sitting in the US, and I say this, you were talking about cases. You see the pain that you try to put on innocent persons, saying that I met, or I came, this sponsored my coming, and I met them. Why? If I want to meet Akufo-Addo, I can walk to his office. He's the president of Ghana. He's not the president of MPP. If I want to meet him, I'll walk to the castle, or the Flagstaff House, and see him in an official capacity. I will send a note and I will go and see him because I'm a member of Parliament and I'm Ghanaian. He's a Ghanaian president. Haven't you seen His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and other former heads of state go to meet him in his office for deliberations? Does that make His Excellency a traitor to NDC? Is that your thinking? Is that why you are told how a country is built? We will hold their legs to the fire. Go and look at the debate when we're doing the Sputnik vaccine and listen to what all of us have said. Go and look at the videos. Go and look at the answers and check and see whether our contributions on the floor give the slightest suggestions that we are traitors and we are compromised. Let me tell you. You see these lies that you've told me, I will never forgive you. The God that you claim to serve, whether it is Lolovi, whether it is a tree, whether it is a dog, will punish you. That God will punish you. The pain that you have put me and my supporters through with these lies, God will punish you in a way that you least expect. Because God knows. I didn't come to US to meet anybody. I did not meet anybody. I've not met any of them. But let me tell you, if I want to meet Napo, what prevents me from seeing him? He's a minister of state. If I want to see KK Sapon, he's the chief executive of GMPC, a national oil company. If there's genuinely an official thing that I need from my constituency, if you get to know, I am pushing for a lot of things that GMPs have been doing for other. Look, if you go to Sakafia Islamic, there's a 6 classroom block there. I got GMPC to build for them. That is what a responsible politician does. But go and find out from them. When they were building it, whether I even know the contractor who built it. I'm not those type of politicians. I'm not those type. I'm not those type. So please, let me tell you. You claim that we are agents. You are rather agent. You are an agent of MPP who is trying to destroy NDC. Because obviously that was where you were. It's only Nana Akufo-Addo that you disagree with. That's why you claim to be speaking for NDC. You are not. You are not. You are not NDC. And for those of NDC who are spending time and energy listening to this so-called journalist who doesn't have ethics, journalism ethics, he doesn't have respect for anybody, he just speaks anyhow, no human value, look, you can say the truth without these lies and name calling. If you have evidence about things, you can put it out. Today, Ghana, with all manner of stories going around, if you hear something as a responsible journalist, what you do is to give those people the benefit of the doubt. Look, this is what I've heard. What is the situation like? Get the other person's side. The facts that you have, cross-check it. That is what we do. Don't put blame. You are saying that, the reason why we were put there, we haven't achieved it. Do you know how many we were? We were 106. 9 lost their primaries. 9 voluntarily decided that they were not contesting. So 88 of us went into election and asked our colleagues the outrages that we, the minority leadership, with our colleagues, sponsored. Carrying MPs sometimes 10 to a particular area, go, let's do an outreach. We fought hard. And now we are 137. So if you care to know, we are very hard-working persons in leadership. And remember, me, I've been government whip before. I serve under Babin. And these lies that you are saying, I challenge you, whoever told you that, let that person come and tell you that I'm saying that the person is a liar. I'm a member of FEC, I'm a member of NEC, I attend the political committee meeting, I was there at the Council of Elders. Nowhere did Babin say that the problem of NDC is the two leaders. You are lying. You are a big liar. And I challenge you, if you say that's a fact, bring it out. You see, this bigotry that you've gotten yourself entangled in, you can't destroy NDC. You are too small to destroy NDC. But for those of you who claim to love NDC and are listening to him and thinking that what he's doing, oh, he's speaking for Ghana. Is it how to speak for a country that requires a lot of energy and time? Those who are virtually breaking their back, fighting every day to get the right things done. Look, go and see the before we close on the business of the house. So many tax waivers. We insisted that those tax waivers, we needed some more information. But you see, let me take you back to school. In Parliament, there are 3 types of voting. 3 types. The first one is by voice vote. So the speaker says those who are in favor say aye, then they will scream aye. And those against say no, then they also scream no. And then the speaker uses his discretion to say, oh, the yes have it or the no have it. And when speaker does that, our standing orders 113 to all the way to 115 gives you the opportunity to challenge and say to the speaker, I challenge your voice votes and I want a head count. And then you can have the head count. That's the second one, where everybody stands and then you count. Go check our standing orders and the Constitution. The only time you get to have secret ballot is when you are removing somebody from office or you are putting someone in office. And then you go back, things that we as a party have agreed to put behind us so that we can build a formidable party into the 2024. Ask yourself what you are doing. How is it going to help the party? How is it going to help the party? You want to sow seed of disunity between we members of parliament and our rank and file. Do you know the consequences of it? Because you have no idea. You don't know what happens. It's the MPs that are carrying the consequences. So if you do too much of this and there's so much underground and the MPs pull back, ask yourself whether we'll be able to even get the 106 that the last time we were having. You have no idea. Because you see, you are so naive and you find out. You think that intelligence is speaking fluent English. No. You keep talking about the vetting. Let me school you. Everywhere in Parliament, every committee of Parliament can only recommend to the plenary. I heard people misleading and confusing people. Look, the 26 of us on appointments committee, even if all of us, 26 unanimously say that Mr. Kevin Taylor should not be made a minister, that will still remain a recommendation. We have to take it to the floor and they'll be voting. And because we are putting you in office, there will be secret ballot. You see the naivety. The secret ballot that allow us to be able to cross over and get some members on the APP to vote for us. That same secret ballot that has now produced a result that you don't like, you are blaming some people. Ask yourself, when they lost the position of speaker, did you see them killing their leaders? Do you know how long Honorable Chairman have been in the leadership of Parliament? Let me school you. When I came to Parliament, he was a deputy whip. Not long, he became the chief whip. Then he graduated to become the deputy leader. Then he became the leader. And if you care to know, he had been the leader since January 7th, 2013. Yet, with all his experience, from deputy whip to deputy leader to leader, he lost the speakership. Did you see NPP doing what you are trying to do to the NDC party? Do you see did you see NPP trying to do that to the leadership of their parliament, their leadership in parliament? And you claim that you are doing this to help NDC. What you are doing is that you are derailing the effort of those of us in parliament. 2 weeks. Let me tell you, we are going nowhere. We challenge you, myself and Haruna, we are going nowhere. Anybody who tells you that, oh, there's some this thing we can remember, let them try it and let's see. We are not kids in the party. Do you know how much discussions we've had behind the scene? You want us to come and put it before the general public? We won't do that. That is what leadership is about. If leadership is about everybody in the house knowing what is going on in their house, I don't think you even had the audacity to be sitting to be talking about what you are saying. So if that's your thinking, you are daydreaming. Let me tell you, as one say, just find out. Since I started contesting, all the primaries I've attended, I've gone through. Go check. I have never paid any delegate to vote for me. I give them TNT. And the TNT I've given, the highest. You hear people giving television, deep freezers, $1,000, what and what. Find out from the people of Aswansi. Our slogan is Bakudiba Nesoyeyane. It is love. It is not money. The highest I've ever given the delegate in my constituency. You can call and find out. It's 100 cities. And that was even the last one. Is that the last one? 100 cities. Estimated the cost of transport, the lunch, and probably dinner. Even that, I was insisting I was going to give them 50 because it is not about paying people money. But ask my constituents, when people are in dire need, I'll spend my last peso to save them. People have been sick. I've gotten them, their hospital bills, thousands I'll pay. People have gotten scholarship to study abroad. The family cannot afford the ticket. I've bought ticket for them. But I'm not the type who go around sharing people money. You think I'm stupid? I'm not as stupid as you. And I challenge you that if you claim that you are courageous, come to Ghana and make this your allegation and see whether we will not sue you. And then you see the level of your foolishness. What kind of nonsense is that? You just sit down and you don't know. How old are you? Do you know when we started this? Do you know how much sacrifices that we have made? Go and find out from Aswansi. Under this government, are you not one of those who were saying that the Pelele have let it to rot and this is to vote for against me? You see the hypocrisy. The people that I'm in bed with, they cannot even do when our government, under a French government, had given us a grant of 36.5 million euros to do the drain. And as a member of parliament, let me tell you, what I have to do is to file questions, get the ministers to come to answer. I got them, they pretended to go and start, and then they left. And I'm on my way, try to bring them again. Why did they stop? And up to now, they've not done the work. Drains that we started, go to Spetimpum. Let the people from Spetimpum are listening. Drains that we started 4 years, 5 years now, it was left just as we left it. If I'm in bed with them, they won't do it. Every day, I'm putting pressure to get those things even completed. They are not minding me. For the past 4.5 years, not a single drain was done in my constituency. I've just told you, the classroom block that I got through Get Fund, that you are lying that I got contract from Napo, that was sent to the district. I've mentioned, they've not been done for the past 5 years. And you sit, and because you have no manners, you are not cultured, you are unethical in doing the work of journalism. Simple cross-checking you won't do. Just sit there and be threatening. I challenge you. Bring every audio and every document that you claim you have. What kind of thing is this? What kind kind of thing is this? You claim to be NDC. Come and change Harun and I. Come. Come. Look, go around and mention all the things that you know about me. I'm not an angel. I won't pretend to be one. I have my weakness, but I will tell you, my colleagues in Parliament will tell you, if it comes to those that people in the chamber can always run to, I can pay to, they will tell you it is me. If it comes to the chamber and the people on the opposite side, MPP, are so scared of when it comes to cross-checking and trying to insist that the right thing is done in the chamber, I can bet you, even if you have to pick 2 from our caucus, I will be one. You can find out. If you have friends in the MPP, they will tell you. So please, don't dare. I challenge you. I challenge you. What kind of behavior is this? That we think we are bigger than NDC. How? We are members of NDC, and we fought through the ranks to be where we are. So those bigots who are telling you, and then you see John Mama is Nordina, Babi is Nordina, Haruna is Nordina, Muntaka is Nordina. Oh, all of a sudden you've forgotten that I'm from Asante region. People, those who are telling you this, they've forgotten that I'm from Asante region. I am from Asante region. I am from Asante region. That's where my constituency is. And I can bet you, I know that I have very wonderful colleagues. In my caucus, I'll tell you, they'll tell you. Everything that comes, I know those to consult. I know those that can help. I can put them together. Please, can you look at this? What do we do? We'll always share views, come to a conclusion, agree. I'll be the first to call the party leadership. This is what we are thinking. What's your view? Put those views before we pursue them. You won't come and be doing this and think that we'll just leave you. I will get your time. Come out and I'll come back. Come. And we'll be running a marathon. I'm sorry, those of you who are saying that Muntaka, don't mind him. I mean, this is guy that you don't. No, I won't allow him to be doing this because he puts the gullible people who don't know how Parliament is run and the things that are being run. He makes them confused. They don't know which is the truth. And sometimes they say silent means consent. I'm not that type. I'm not that type. We fought hard to where we are. Haruna Idusu have fought so much for this party. He works so hard for this party. Youth organizer, tell me, what has he not done for this party? All those that are telling nonsense and telling what and what. Ask them his contribution. Ask them his contribution. Find out how many consensus we try to support, try to bring on board. Many of our colleagues try to groom, try to show most of our even peers and seniors. Anytime we are doing something, we bring them together. Look, let's put our heads together. We have committee of rankings to the extent that almost everything I dedicate time. Every week, Wednesday, we meet. These things that are before us, what do we do? What are the cons? What are the pros? Oh, this thing, please, can we speak to the office of the flag bearer to get his view? Can we speak to the party leader to get their view? You can't sit and make it look as if we are some monsters. Is that how to pay us? Is it our crime that we fought so hard to get a speaker? I want to just call all NDC persons, especially my supporters and that of Haruna Idusu, please remain calm. These are people that have been hired. Because if you see the way they talk, you see, people hide them, give them wrong information. And Haruna, I mean, I'm sorry, leader. I'm very, very sorry. I know you've cautioned me not to talk. But look, we can't allow this guy to be doing what he's doing. We can't. But I just want to say, our party leadership must wake up. If we allow this guy, we don't dissociate ourselves with what this guy is doing. he'll be putting our heads against each other. Yes, he'll be putting our heads against each other. Because if you're not careful, what we'll simply start doing is that we'll start accusing each other publicly. And that'll be too dangerous for all of us. And I just want to say that all well-meaning NDC persons, please, let's stay away from this guy. He's not one of us. His MPP, as he himself have always said, he only didn't like Nanado. That's why he's doing what he's doing. Remember, in 2024, we will not be going with Nanado. So just ask yourself, will he be going back to his base? Or he will remain with us? You and I have been branch executives, constituency, rose through the ranks, veterans spend all our youthful age in this. Are we going to allow this guy to create doubt on our minds so he'll be playing with our minds? Let us all be careful. I can tell you, I never met Napo in New York. I've never met KK Tapan. In fact, I was far away from New York until this morning. I've never been to any mosques at Bronx. My constituency, they will tell you, I'm not the type who is scared. I've never been afraid of the truth. You claim you have audios. I encourage you to bring all of them out. I challenge you. You have any evidence of me or anybody compromising this? Bring it. Bring it. I'm sorry. All the imams, the elderly, who had said I should speak, especially the minority leader, I'm really, really very sorry. I had to do this. Just to let people understand that we are not that inexperienced. We are not that stupid. We work very hard. And you see, there's this nagging, so worrying thing. Every time they want to pitch you, so it's against JM. Hey, who against JM? Ask him. When it comes to people who support him heavily, I challenge those who say Haruna Idris is against him to come out and let's see. They who are claiming they are supporting him and what Haruna is doing on his behalf, what all of us are doing on his behalf. But obviously, we are a party. Sometimes things go your way. Some the other time it may not really go your way. And sometimes it's very worrying and disappointing. But please, 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 don't dare impugn our integrity. And if you want us to settle it in a way that is evidential, legal, come home, where you can be sued, and then we can go, because I'm not a U.S. citizen. I cannot come to the U.S. here that I'm coming to see you. But you are a Ghanaian too. So that's a common denominator. Come home so that you come and make those allegations. So that I'll see you, we'll be in a court where the evidence will be attested to, cross-check, and your facts, and we'll see how it will stand. I thank you all for your time. I'm sorry I've kept you long with my long talk, but it is very worrying. And the better we in NDC wake up to this, because look, today he pins this person, the next day he pins another person. Before you realize, we'll all be fighting among ourselves. Yes, so the leadership of our party, I mean, your mama himself. So if you think I'm doing this for NDC, you are thinking stupid. I mean, somebody who is well cultured, who is well brought up. Will you speak to your father that way? Tell your mama that if you think I'm working for NDC, you are thinking stupid. Hey! Well, for that, I'm not somebody who listens to you. People just cut pieces of your video, and sometimes I play them, and sometimes accidentally you just get to hear some of them and you pass by. Let us do things in a rational way. Like I said time and time again, I am not an angel. I have my weaknesses. But one thing that you can be rest assured, I'm a very loyal person and loyal to a cause. And when everybody in the house, both sides, respect me for that. Very, very, very loyal to a cause. If I don't like something, I don't need to hide it. I will say it. I'm not a pretender. Everybody in my party who is close to me knows that I'm not the type who pretends. When I disagree with you, I will disagree with you in a very strong pen. That is me. But don't dare utter those falsehood and lies. If I want to meet Akufo-Addo, why? Who says that, as a senior member of parliament, I cannot walk and see a minister or walk to see this? But care to know, find out from all the ministers, all of them. I won't say with the exception of this. If me come to their office, me, Muntaka, come to any of their office, find out from pen, and I swear to God that this pen has never exchanged between myself and Ken Ofurata. You put even a gun on me. I don't even have his number. So why this name calling? And you speak with so much confidence as if what you are saying is, and I challenge you. Please, I challenge you. But please, if you know you are courageous and you believe in whatever you are saying, just come home and say it. And let us land in court so that we can all go through the due process. That is where there will be fairness. And then we'll see your ethical levels, your truthfulness level, and all that. I'm sorry I bored you guys with so much listening. I thank you very much for the opportunity to listen to me. And I pray that our teaming supporters, the NDC, will all wise up and know this guy is not one of us. He is on a mission to destroy, because ask yourself what he's doing. How is he going to help us in 2024? If NDC, we are in parliament and we are divided and we are fighting among ourselves, how can we spend time to fight against MPP? How can we find time to keep our consensus? And what will happen in 2024? And let me tell you, whether you believe it or not, your parliamentary wing is a very crucial wing that helps in winning every election that's ahead of the political party. I thank you very much for the opportunity, and I wish all of us well. Have a good night.